Episode 7 of The Acolyte just aired, and in my opinion, out of all the episodes, I think this one may be the worst. Before I get into that, starting off with some redeeming qualities, I like Master Indara. She is such a good character. I like the way she talks. The actress does an amazing job. I can't believe they killed her off in the first episode. That's such a shame because she's so underutilized. She is one of the best characters in the show. I really liked her. And as this was pretty much the flashback episode to explain it all, we did get to see a lot of repetitive scenes that we've already seen in episode 3. And I did like seeing the Reverend Mother again. I still think the actress does a great job. I like her motivations and I like what she does as a character. I think a lot of what she does makes sense, and I like how she does care about her two girls, which we do kind of have an explanation for now, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with kind of how they're going about it. So you still need a few more answers, but from what we have seen so far, I am happy with that aspect. Because I know before Edward and I both had some questions about it because it was very questionable. We even didn't like the Anakin Phantom Menace just born of the Force thing.
No, I
It's
still don't like this shit.
yeah, it's very similar here, but at least it's not as bad as what we are thinking it was before. So I'm happy with that. I kind of like the premise of why they're on the planet. So the whole point is they're doing geological samples because they're looking essentially for something called divergence, which is essentially just ley lines. They're searching for ley lines as this planet was absolutely barren. Then 100 years later, it's teeming with life. So that does make sense. I do like how they're going into different aspects of the Jedi. That part I did like. The ley lines, but
I
other
mean, isn't
than
a
that,
virgin is the same thing like Anakin though? Because that's exactly the word that Qui-Gon used when he found Anakin. He discovered a virgins in the Force. And so when I
yeah,
heard that in this episode, I was like, they're trying to make him like Anakin.
but different. It's we still there's still some things we don't know. As you guys are very much aware, they're twins, and from a chant in episode 3 or episode 4, we kind of could infer that they are the same person, or at least some sort of entity split, and that's kind of what they're still leaning towards here, and we have more evidence backing up that. Whether what that actually means, we are still a bit unclear of, but at least for the most part, I think it's at least interesting, especially with we still don't know why they were created because they're not created out of the Force randomly. They were purposefully created, which is, I guess, why I'm more okay with it
So was
instead of it just
Anakin.
being. Anakin was random happen chance. He was not purpose. How was he
No,
forcefully created?
the Force created him
No,
to
sorry,
bring
sorry, sorry.
balance
Okay,
to the
sorry,
Force.
sorry. Let me rephrase that because I realize saying the word forcefully sounds really dumb. He was not purposefully created by some he was created by the Force. Yes,
Yeah.
100% agree. But he was not purposely created by other beings as Osha and Maeve
Okay.
are, which I
Gotcha.
like more. And real quick, before we continue, let us know your thoughts about Acolyte episode 7. Did this kind of fall off for you too? And is it even really making sense at this point?
This episode sucked hard ass, man. I
Yeah.
was bored, and I know I've said that a lot about this show. There was one episode that I thought was okay, and what we've gotten since has not been even okay.
Hmm.
I like Carrie On Moss. I
Yeah.
like her a lot, but she's what they've done with her is so bad. I don't even like her
Really?
character. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I like
I
her.
can't come around to liking her. Even the mother in this episode, it was just more of what we saw in the first episode. So
Yeah.
it's not that not the first episode, second or third. It's not that I disliked her. It's just that we've seen that, and I thought we'd see something different or something more. So, I know I keep saying this, guys, but it's not my intention to sit here and crap on this show, but it's not good. This one was 43 minutes. It was boring as all hell.
Yeah.
And Griff's right. So we always chat a little bit before each episode. They've destroyed Soul. He was the one, probably one or two redeeming aspects of this show, and now he's just
He's one
one
of
of
the
the
worst
dumbest.
characters.
Yeah, it's just, and we didn't get anything from the Sith Lord or possibly not Sith Lord this episode. We got one more episode, guys, and I just doubt that it's going to grasp my attention.
It's not. I mean, okay, this is a 43-minute episode, and 20, 25 minutes are all repeat scenes of scenes we've seen before. Just because they're being told from a different perspective now. Soul is one of the worst characters in Star Wars.
And that lightsaber fight, if you can call it that, say what you want about the sequel trilogy, which we've had a lot to say about it. The fight that Rey and Kylo Ren had in The Force Awakens wasn't nearly as bad as this, in my
Yeah.
opinion, which you
And
guys are
especially
welcome to
in
disagree.
comparison to the fights of this show, and they're proving they can do a higher caliber of fights. These fights were terrible. They were really bad. There were a lot of spin moves, which I do like spin moves, but other than that, there was really no substance to them. I do understand that the main driving force behind the fight is a lot more of a strength based, which I do understand that would make it a little bit more sluggish. But even Soul and the Padawan just weren't moving too well. I did like how Soul did turn off his lightsaber and just started beating him with it off. I thought that was kind of funny, but the fights weren't good, and I don't
The show's
understand a
not good,
few.
dude.
Yeah, I don't understand a few things about this episode. So we saw the Reverend Mother, which is now confirmed to be just a force cult, which I think is pretty funny. The Reverend Mother, we saw her turn to smoke, and we didn't really get to see what she was going to do. Okay, fast forward literally 30 seconds. We see her partner do the exact same move and then possess someone. And that someone being Kalnaka. There are two things that I think are wrong with this scene. Starting off, Wookiees are extremely stubborn and he has Jedi training. I understand there may have been like 15 other people trying to possess Kalnaka, but I find it really hard to buy into them possessing Kalnaka so quickly when it took them a minute 30 to possess Torbjorn the
Who's a
Padawan.
Padawan,
Exactly. And again, Wookiee's being super stubborn, very
and
resilient,
probably
strong-headed.
this Jedi is a Jedi Master. So
He's a Jedi Master. That is
yeah,
confirmed. It's just that didn't sit well with me.
yeah,
And then again, the Reverend Mother pulled off this move 30 seconds before to possess May. Why? That
because the
scene
writing
makes
sucks.
no
It's dick.
sense. Why would you possess your child when you have authority over them? You can easily convince them what to do, what not to do. Why would you need to possess them? Not to mention, it looks hella suspicious to the Jedi that this bitch is turning into smoke. That
Dude,
seems
because
dangerous.
the writing blows.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. And then for Soul, he again, one of the best characters until this episode, where he's now the dumbest character in all Star Wars. He just kind of formed this not love at first sight, but attachment at first sight with Osha that kind of comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really make any sense. And Indara wanting to go to the council, and even Indara saying that Osha is too old, which again plays more into what Edward and I saying earlier. Soul is just dumb and stubborn. There's really no motivation behind it besides I just want this. And it doesn't play anything into his character, and the choices later made in the episode just don't make sense with it.
And before you guys or any, you know, Acolyte defenders want to say, well, Qui-Gon formed a bond real quick with that. No, he didn't. It was over a couple of scenes that, Qui-Gon was at first curious about this little boy. At first, if you notice, Qui-Gon was annoyed. He was like, this little kid, like, let's just get the parts and let's just get the hell out of here. It's not until Anakin's like, hey, I'll offer you shelter. And Qui-Gon was like, well, it's either this or we take the sandstorm. And he
Yeah.
starts noticing certain traits from the kid. But there was never like this infatuation where like it's not until Qui-Gon like blood tests his ass that he's like, holy crap, his midichlorian count is like way high, man.
Yeah. It
Like
was after like
it's gotta be
a
this
lot of
prophecy
testing
thing.
and bonding. Like he saw
But
them at work.
but here it's like this guy meets this young kid. It's almost creepy as hell, to be honest with you. It's
It's a
just
little
it's
creepy.
lame writing. It's just fucking lame writing, man.
Yeah.
This show blows. Sorry guys.
It's
If any of you
just
guys like it, agree to disagree. This show sucks.
it does. There's essentially the only thing we learned from this episode that could have been told in
Shit we
30
already knew.
seconds. Yeah, there's only one scene that we didn't know. Could have been told in 30 seconds. Could have had a whole new episode. Could have done some other stuff. Or just been a 7 episode series, which would have been great instead of taking away from what we want to see more of, which is Kamir. One more episode. We'll see how it goes.
Fire Kathleen Kennedy.
If you enjoyed this video and you just want something to listen to or something to enjoy in the background while you do something else, check out our Marvel tier list where we rate every MCU project. It was a lot of fun to make. Let us know what your thoughts are about that. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys.